What is Disney pin trading? Disney pins have been a staple at Disney parks since 1999. It began at Walt Disney World in Florida, but has since spread across all parks all across the globe and even the now-defunct Disney stores. It's a super fun way to collect small icons of your favorite Disney characters, movies, shows, and more in a relatively affordable way. It can also make for a great souvenir when visiting the parks. And trading is a huge part of the hobby. Not just trading between your friends and other park guests, but with the cast members too. You see, every cast member has their own little collection of pins that they are ready to trade with you. Some wear them on lanyards, on their belts, or on large pin boards at various registers and such. But how does someone get into pin collecting and trading today? How do you do it without breaking the bank, and how do you avoid the fakes? Welcome to the DisDrew channel, and join me today as we go through the do's and don'ts of Disney pin trading. Without further ado, let's get into this. Where do we start? Why don't we start by running down all the different types of pins? I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. There are 5 types of pins available at any given time. Open Edition, which are regularly available pins with a fair circulation window that most park visitors will be able to get their hands on if they visit within a few years of its release. These are generally the cheapest pins to get off the shelf at the parks. Limited release are essentially the same as the Open Edition, but they have a shorter release window and can often feature more details and a somewhat higher cost. Limited Edition are pins that are pretty special. They're typically found behind registers or in glass cases. They have the shortest release window and are the hardest to find. Some limited edition pins can be for specific criteria such as D23 or Disney Vacation Club members. Then there's mystery boxes, which, as you could expect, are pins that can only be found in mystery packs. A single box purchased at the park typically has 1 to 2 mystery pins inside from the series depicted on the box. And finally, there's cast member pins. These pins are both very common and very rare. Let me explain. They cannot be purchased, but are given to cast members to wear each day when they work. These pins can be easily acquired by trading with cast members and often have their own series, such as the Hidden Mickey ones. These are some of the hardest to find because they are often the most commonly bootlegged pins, and the fakes circulate rampantly in the parks. Alright, so now that you're an expert on all types of pins, how do you start collecting them? Well, you could start by buying a starter set. These run for around $35 and can be purchased at multiple locations across the Disney parks and on the Shop Disney website. They consist of a lanyard and a set of pins. If you don't see any pins you like, you can also buy an individual lanyard. There are many great designs. Mine's an Oswald one. You can also, of course, bring your own lanyard from home or use something else. They even sell bags, purses, and backpacks designed just to hold the Disney pins. Now, if you get the starter set or choose to buy a few pins individually to start you off, I do not recommend trading these off. Here's why. Disney pins can get pretty expensive, especially from the parks. Back before the Disney stores closed, I would have said that they were the best place to get the trader pins. My secret weapon for a long time was to buy a bunch of these Mickey and Minnie hand heart pins around Valentine's Day. It was $5 for 2 hands together, which means $2.50 per pin. Perfect price for trading. But Disney stores are basically no more. So what now? Here's another insider secret for you. Have you ever heard of the Disney Character Warehouse? The Disney Character Warehouse is an outlet store located in the Orlando Outlet Marketplace, a 5-minute drive outside of Walt Disney World, give or take. This store sells excess out-of-season merchandise from the Disney parks and the Disney Cruise Line. You can find some awesome stuff here. The last time I went, I got an ear headband for $12 and a bunch of cheap Mickey Rice Krispies. I also nabbed a ton of pins at huge discounts. We're talking $3 to $10 each. This is a great way to get a bunch of pins you may not want to keep for yourself, but trade away without burning a lot of your money. The reason it's important to be cost-effective when trading is because the cast member pin collections, while often full of fun pins, are not quite as valuable as the pins you buy off the shelves. Of course, you may not care at all about that, but I've always felt uneasy passing a $15 pin over for a cast member exclusive pin that's basically worthless and meant for trading. But let's talk about the biggest don't when trading. Do not buy pin lots from eBay or any other reselling sites. Lots are large collections of assorted pins at an insanely cheap price. These are almost always fakes or scrappers, as pin traders call them. It can be sometimes hard to identify a fake, but there's a few ways to do so. I'll link a guide for spotting fakes in the description below. This leads me to the sad reality of pin trading with cast members, and why you should be very observant when trading with them. You see, these scrapper pins are rampant in the trading economy at the parks, and almost every cast member's collection is infected with them. It can be really hard to find even one real pin on cast members at times. So how do you avoid this? Well, I have a few strategies whenever I go. First, I look for especially impressive pins or pins I've seen on sale at the park that day. These pins were likely traded to the cast member not long ago and came right from a guest. You can also wait for a trade to end with a different guest before going up to trade yourself, then grab the pin the other guest gave away. Maybe it's one you really wanted. Finally, you can seek out less common cast members to trade with, such as custodial staff and the cast members at rest and baby care centers. These cast members are approached less often for trades, so they may have more real pins that they've been carrying since the start of their shift. And that about covers all the basic essentials for pin trading. But what do you think? Did I miss any important tips? Let me know and I may make a follow-up video. Do you collect Disney pins? If so, I would love to see your favorites or hear some trading stories. Feel free to let me know in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new video. We also have Instagram and Twitter, you can follow those for more DisDrew content. Until next time, thanks for watching.